that was your first time fighting without any live audience. Did you feel any more pressure from that, or is it kind of the same old thing for you?
It was literally the exact same. I was in the moment. I was focused, like zoned
Right.
in on my opponent. I could hear what my coach was saying a little bit better, but I still wasn't listening too well. But it was all the same to me. I honestly felt like it was a little bit more intense not having the crowd in a way. Um,
Well,
it just felt, I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt great. Like I just visualized so much about that fight. Like everything just flowed naturally. So like no crowd. Like, the best thing about the crowd too is like the walkout. Like when I was walking out, like I was just missing like shaking people's hands, slapping the hands, like hearing the cheers. So that wasn't there. So it kind of like just like put me in a different focus, like
I
different
would
flow
almost
state.
imagine without the crowd, it's almost like even, look, I mean, you're obviously the center of attention the minute you step into the octagon, but without the crowd there really is no other distraction. It's like it's all eyes on you and only you.
right.
Yeah, like
So
I love that attention.
that's
Yeah.
great. And it shows. It's you like literally you smile during your interviews, and it's like you love what you do.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
great. So we've had, like I said, we had a bunch of questions come in, and this one came from A Doyler12 on Instagram. Adam Doyle, thanks for your question. He wants to know who would be your dream fight at 155.
I've been hearing this question a lot, and honestly, I don't have a dream fight. Like, I never really visualized fighting anybody or like wanting to fight anybody badly. The only person I could say it would be a great honor to fight would be Cowboy Cerrone, but I don't think we'll end up crossing paths, so I doubt that'll ever happen. But I've always admired him. I always loved his fighting style, the way he is. I trained with him out in Albuquerque, so I kind of wouldn't even want to fight him like that. But if it had to be a dream fight, I think that's the closest thing to it. But can't say
That's
anything
awesome.
like that.
That would be an honor to step in the ring with that guy. It's just, he's such a legend in the sport. He's been around everybody. That'd be great.
Exactly.
So moving on to, I was looking at you coming on to the Contender series, and I was just wondering, from starting out in the local brackets and moving around that, and then you finally, and you fought in some bigger organizations as well, but when you finally got the call to get a chance to fight on the Contender Series, which would lead you to a UFC I mean, how did you feel when you got that call, and then how did you feel when you actually won the fight and got the contract, the UFC contract?
So the whole idea of me getting into Contender Series, like it was like a crazy big mess because me and my manager were trying to work on another Bellator fight. So that ended up falling through. It fell out a couple times, and I was upset about the situation. I was upset at him for the way the situation played out. And then we ended up splitting ways for a little bit. But then he was like, my mom just kept telling me, she was like, "You need to stay with Jason. He's working on something for you. I feel it." And I was like, "Mom, like like I don't think so, And then sure enough, the next day he called me. He was like, "Hey, I got you on Contender Series, but you gotta re-sign. You gotta keep working with me. Come on, Jay." So I re-signed, got on Contender Series. I won that fight. I didn't get the win the way I wanted. He broke his foot, but I checked his kick, so pretty much he broke his foot on my shin. So
Sure.
it was like anticlimactic win. I didn't get the contract that night. So I ended up getting on the short notice list, and then I ended up that's why I took the fight with Vicente to get into the UFC.
Right. Up at welterweight, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always fascinated by this too. It's like, especially when people fight in different weight classes. So what do you walk around at?
So when I fought Vicente, I walked around at like 170, 175 at the heaviest.
Wow.
Now I walk around like 185, 190,
Holy
190
shit.
out of shape.
And you're cutting to 155.
Yeah.
Wow.
So last when I was scheduled to fight Thiago, when I got the call, I was 186, 187.
Wow.
And then but I had 5 weeks, so I had 5 weeks, and then I just started cutting the weight down.
Ugh.
Wow.
Dude, I get angry if I miss one meal. I was like, I can't wait, like 5 weeks.
Dude, I'm the same way, man. I love food. That's why. Like I love food like really bad. So it sucks. Cutting weight is like the hardest. That's the hardest part of the job for me, man. Like when they asked me to fight Brock, I was 182 that morning. And then I cut. Like I couldn't have made 55. Like on too short notice, there's no way.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So that you'll ever move up to welterweight, or you want to stay at lightweight?
I'm gonna stay at lightweight because even my last cut, like when I cut to fight Tiago, it's an easy, smooth cut. I did it, felt good, didn't feel like too lethargic. Didn't like honestly, I feel like like lately, my last few cuts have been the better cuts I've ever had. Like even though I'm putting all this extra weight on, I'm literally like feeling so much better when I'm getting down to that weight.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have never have guessed like you walked around that heavy because I mean you looked fucking good at 155, dude. Like you looked
Yeah.
strong. You didn't like you didn't. You know how some people like they like their cheeks sink in and they look depleted. You looked you like physically you look great.
Yeah, and that's I got to shout out the PI and then Charles at the PI. They've been formulating everything for me, and then RS Ready Mills helped me with my last weight cut. So I just got a good team behind me that's helping me like getting it down to a better science because the way I used to cut weight was not the proper way. So now like I'm still eating, I'm still just boosting my metabolism, keeping the water running through my body, and just I'm healthier when I'm cutting weight now.
Awesome.
So when did you decide that you wanted to be a professional fighter, and did your family always support your career choice?
Oh man.
I can't wait to hear this answer.
Yeah.
So I realized I wanted to do it when I was about 17 going on 18. Adrenaline Martial Arts had a fight team trial, local gym in San Bernardino. And I told Mom, I was like, Mom, like, I'm going to go to this fight team trial. Like, I've been doing all this training in the backyard. Like, I can do it. And she was like, well, what if, like, my mom's just such a realist. She's like, well, what if you don't make it? Like, how are we going to afford a gym payment? And I was like, man, like, she just kind of put it down. And I was like, all right, like, I need all this equipment. Like, I needed a mouthpiece. I needed headgear. I needed shin guards. Like one of my friends let me borrow their shin guards. I stole a headgear from Big Five. I stole a mouthpiece from Big Five because like I just wanted to do it that badly. I was like, I gotta like go to this tryout. My mom was like, she's like, no, like I don't think you should. And then she ended up taking me. She drove me to the tryout. She paid the $20 for the fee, and then I ended up making the team. So
Wow.
like in the beginning, she didn't want her baby to fight. I'm her only boy. I'm her only son, so she didn't want me to fight. But now she's my biggest fan, biggest supporter.
Wow, that's amazing.